So welcome everybody. In this particular video, we are going to discuss about how Primavera P6 Professional is useful for managing your project. Because the projects like your mega structures, your oil and gas, shutdown maintenance, highways, steel plants, all the industries who are from construction, power, energy, telecom, manufacturing, so they are all using these softwares for managing their project. So Primavera P6 Professional is the most powerful project scheduling software which is going to help us to manage our project plan, to manage our project schedule, how we are going to manage the resources, keeping track of our progress, and how we can control the delays in our project timeline. So that is what we are going to now discuss. So as we know, this is what is the Primavera interface. So we have enterprise-wise project structure. So this is the company who is having different divisions, under which divisions we are running several projects. So each individual project will have its project scope. So when we talk about the project scope, so we just have to plan our project scope at the level 1, level 2, level 3, right? So first is our major work packages. That is what we call as work breakdown structure. So once we have our project, so we have defined how we are going to manage the major deliverables of this particular project. That is what is we have these work packages for this building project. So we can get this summary information about this building projects, no? That what is this particular foundation work, from when it is going to start, when it is going to finish, the total budgeted completion that we are going to have for this WBS. So all those information we can get in the summary format. That is what is here we have the Gantt chart also for this key deliverables, right? But we know that this is what is the major work, the level 1 plan. Then we must have to have the detailed activities for all these work packages. That is what is we are going to define under activities. Like for foundation activities, what all activities we have to pursue to accomplish this particular package. Similarly, for our superstructure work, if it is a kind of a multi-story building, no high-rise building, it could have maybe 30, 40 floors also. So that is what we have to do, planning for our one floor, and same could be copy paste for the multiple floors as well. So we have certain activities for each work packages. So you are going to now break down those work packages into the list of activities. Now, these are the actual tasks that we have going to do. So first we have a project. We created our work breakdown structure, which is the high level plan. Then we are going to decompose those work packages into the list of activities because activity is going to provide the basis for estimation, duration, cost, resources, right? So we have these activities. Now we must have to estimate their duration. So duration is what we have associated for each activity, how long this task will take. Then we have to define the relationship of these activities because there has to be a logical sequencing in what order we are going to do. So considering our sequencing, what are those activities which has to be must follow sequence, what activities we can run in parallel. So based on that, we have to define the logical sequencing. That is what we can do using this particular software also. So we have to use this precedence diagramming method when we are going to define our relationship. We call them as predecessors and successor. Just like if you can see, the activity for this column shuttering is what is going to be preceded by column reinforcement. So once our column reinforcement has started, we are starting the shuttering work with the gap of 2 days. Same, we have a column casting. So after your shuttering has started, we are going to complete this shuttering, then we are going to do the casting. That is what we have done our logical sequencing. This logical sequencing will be depending on the project to project. It can vary. It's not that every time we have to follow a set sequence. That depends on so many parameters. What are the conditions? So what are the resources availability? Right? Based on that, we are going to schedule our activities relationship. Then we have to allocate the resources also. So once we have assigned the relationship, what is the predecessor, what is the successor, then we must have to define the resources for the activities. So resources means it would be your manpower, machinery, material. So what would be the type of resources you are going to use in your project? So we have to first create our resource pool. So all the resources that we are going to use in this project activities, we have to define them. So their standard rates, their availability, all that information we have to define first. And then we are going to assign these resources for our activities. So based on those resources, we can easily get to know the costing. So that is what is the total labor cost for this activity. So labor cost is based on the manpower. So whatever manpower you are going to use for this activity, you are going to get the cost based on that. Any activity where you have applied some material resources, so what is the material cost? So that is how we can get the very detailed bifurcated cost for our project activities based on the machinery, based on the material, based on the manpower. So it will always sum up to the total budgeted cost. So once you do this for all the activities, what are my resources which is going to work for each one? We can easily get to know our cost estimate for the activities, cost estimate for our work package, and the total cost for our project. That is what is we have got it here. So this is why the organizations are also using this software for creating their independent estimating. And we have done our sequencing of the activities. So once we schedule our project, we can easily get to know the start and finish of each activity. So when you are going to start the activity, when you are going to finish the activity, when the work package is going to start and finish, and when the project is going to start and finish. So all this information we can easily get using this software. So this is where we use the critical path method. Critical path method is nothing but what all activities in this project are on our critical path, so that we have to focus on those activities to complete our project timely. If you delay the activities which are on the critical path, your project would be delayed. So we have our critical path where your activities are having 0 days of duration. That is a critical activity. That means we cannot even delay this activity for a single day. So this is how the software is going to help us. So we are going to using the CPM methods, and whenever you are making any changes, any logical sequencing changes, automatically software will be calculating your new critical path as well as the total duration of your project. So what is we are going to use this whenever we feel that we have to have some changes, or we're just going to do some changes in the activities duration, activity sequencing. It is going to help us to know or tell us the longest path. What is the critical path? Because this is what it automatically highlights with this red color bars. So as a planning engineer, as a project team, we have to protect our critical path. Your focus has to be on the critical path itself. And also we have got to know our resources, what all resources we are assigning here, right? So now in order to know that what type of resources we would be requiring, it even gives you the complete resource usage graph also. For each resource, how much is the limit we are using, and what is we have allocated for our project. So like this, suppose we know that we have a resource, so what we are using on our project. So this black line is our limit, and this green is the allocation units, how much we are using on this particular project, right? So this is what we can even see the once we are assigned our resources. So based on the resource cost, we can easily get to see our cash flow S curve, cost baseline. So this is what is the cost baseline curve it is showing you. This one is your S curve. This is what is the S curve of our project. Cumulative cost over the time. How we are spending in our project. Same thing we can easily see through our resource assignment view also. That which resource, how much quantity we will be requiring on our particular time period. Month wise, day wise, week wise, we can easily customize it. If we want to view our resource requirement month wise, week wise, we can just have the requirement know. So the course and how much would be required in particular month and where we are using them, right? You know the tiles, which all activity we are using and how many tiles will be required on a particular month, right? Steel, how much steel you would be requiring in which particular month. So this is what it is going to help us to plan our procurement also. So resource usage you can get and you can share this report to your inventory, to your procurement department that this is what would be our requirement for this project. Manpower, equipment, machineries. Even it is going to help us to see the cash flow in the Excel format. So that is what we can easily have our cash flow for this project. So this is our requirement for each month. And this is the cumulative cost we would be requiring month on month, right? And where we are spending that also we can get easily on what work packages we are spending. Total July is going to be requiring this much of fund and where we are investing that, where we are going to utilize. That is what the summary report of cash flow you can get it very easily for your project as well, right? That is what we can use these windows for analysis. So this is what it is going to help us to analyze your day-wise, week-wise, month-wise requirement. As I just shown you, the resource requirement for each month, each week, that also we can do using this particular softwares. So this is what is going to be there. And we do have lot many reports that we can get for this project. So as we know that on this particular project view, we have our Gantt chart. This is what is your bar chart, Gantt chart, which is suggesting us how much work we are doing on a particular time frame. So what all activities we are doing it. Same thing we can see as our PERT, as our activity network diagram also. What is our visual relationship of the activities that we have in this project. So all these type of representation is possible and any changes would be automatically have the total impact on your project also. So this is for individual project. No, what is the resource histogram we have, cost for we have. Also, we can track for multiple project as well. Suppose there is an organization who is having a department under which they are having several projects. So that is what is it is showing you the total planned versus actual report. What was planned, what is actual, what is remaining. So whether you are spending as per your plan, you are behind, you are ahead. So this is what for all the projects of this department or even for a particular project also we can see. What was our planned cost, what was our actual cost, what was our remaining cost that is going to be there for this project. This is what we can have the detailed view for each project also and for your multiple project also. This is what is we have tracking of multiple projects. What are the projects, right? What are the planned cost, actual cost, variance that we do have for this particular project. This is what we can have here. So this is the total variance minus 27 days of delay, minus 12 days of delay, right? We can always have the integrated view for our multiple project. What is your schedule variance? Now this is negative. That means we are this much of work is still remaining in our project from our plan. So we are having delay in these work packages. Wherever you have zero, that means it is running on time. So we do have first preparing our baseline plan, target plan, and once we are going to update this project based on your working, based on your actual progress, it is going to show you the plan versus actual reports. This is our plan. So once I'm going to set my target for this, that my target is set, this is my approved. My senior management has approved this particular schedule. Now we are going to monitor based on this particular plan that what are our variances. So we can easily monitor the variances based on this plan. So let's say I'm going to update my project for a particular month, right? So based on that, once I'm going to update my project, let's say I'm just trying to update my progress till the 15th of February. This is what I have just done the automatic, but now I want to just see in my actual, we started this particular activity, might be not on first, we started it on second, and we finished this activity in the on 29th of January. Similarly, this activity is still not started. Now I want to view my plan versus actual. So I can just view my plan versus actual. What was my baseline and what are the variances? That is what, once you are going to update it, you would be able to see the variances in your project progress, right? That is what is we can easily get to do it. So what would be the impact of this delay on my remaining project? See, so all the linked activities has been shifted because of the impact on the critical activity. So earlier my project was like having the finish date of around 355 days. Now it is going to take 361 days. So we can always view the deviation here also, and we can also see the variances in our columns as well. So we have several views by which we can view our variances also. So there are several reports that we can have in our project also. So that is what is it is showing. Minus 1 day of delay in the start, minus 1 day of delay in the finish, 5.5 days of delay for all these activities. Now it is showing. So now we have to take some action. If we feel that we have to this 5 days of delay, we can easily control. Maybe by just replanning a few of the activities. That is what we can take those decisions once we have all this information to this software. So this, if you see this particular line, what is showing here, that is showing also that your project is behind your target line, behind your baseline. So this is what is, we have different ways to visualize our project performance. And there are so many reports that we do have in our project that we can print. So several categories of reports are there that we can view as per the requirement, and also these reports could be customized as per the need. You want to see your activity status report. You want to generate a 1 month look ahead report. You want to generate a 15 days look ahead report. You want to generate a report for a particular resource, to-do list for a particular resource. Everything could be customized based on the project requirement. So it could be always exported in the form of your XML format, ERP formats. You can link these Primavera reports to your other platforms also of the organization. That is all about this software. What all things we can do using this Primavera. You can prepare a realistic plan. You can prepare a realistic schedule. You can also generate your variance report, baseline versus actual. Are we ahead? Are we behind? Or what could be your recovery plan? So this is a must-be software for anyone who is working in the project. Maybe a project manager, planning engineers, civil engineers, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, shutdown engineers, maintenance. No, that is what is, it will boost up your career growth. So that is what in the particular program, the course that we have of a 40 hours, we do cover everything. How you can plan and control your big projects, why our industries are using this softwares. No, so if you find this software useful, you can just connect with us for the more detailed curriculum on that.